Welcome to the Sunday edition of the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. This is day 2 of the second round, and a couple things that are very important. A, there's good racing and good weather in Southern California. B, we're happy to have 2 terrific handicappers with us. And C, Peter Lurie's dog is all good and well and back to normal. So that's the most important thing. And
that's good.
For the Winners Foundation, George.
Smokey the Greyhound, remember. Go to GreySave.
Beautiful greyhound.
Go to greysave.org if you want to do anything for greyhounds off the racetrack down at Caliente. It's very, very important. Smokey and Harley say hello.
Love it. Love it. Georgie, how are we doing this morning?
We're doing great. We had a wonderful, just this whole weekend's been wonderful. Of course, Gabe won the championship yesterday and came back on 24 hours for round 2, and he won yesterday as well. So congratulations to Gabe. He was at the comedy show last night. We had a wonderful time. Some wonderful comedians. Of course, your host was Jay Cohen doing his, his old familiar routines with the bugle and everything. But the comedians were wonderful. The atmosphere was wonderful. If you've never been there, the Chandelier Room, they they converted into a stand-up comedy club. It is fantastic. And we got another one coming up soon, Chappie. When is the next one?
If I remember, now we got to remember one thing. I got up at 5:30 yesterday morning because of my radio show, and then I went to bed about midnight last night. So I couldn't remember the date if you paid me right now.
I think it's May 21st. Is it May 21st?
I'm sure Andrew's down the hallway cussing me out right now, but when I come up with that date, I will. But there's another one coming soon. But yes, it went well, and we appreciate everybody who came out last night.
We had jockeys there, trainers. It was great. It was a great fun last night. And hopefully we're going to have fun and pick some winners here. You got a little rocking horse next to you there. And Hoffman's hat on, Iggy.
That's what we're talking about. I'm going old school today. I was trying to find something, as Chappie was saying before we went on the air, that I got an old shirt on of some Beulah track or somewhere, and I said no, I went old school. I was trying to match because that's one of my plays today that I'm landing on, so I thought I'd come out with the old Dave Hoffman's hat.
Cool.
By the way, I just want to point out that my very first winner as an owner was a horse called Trooper's Choice. The jockey was a man who is on this group, Mr. Ignacio Puglisi, who, by the way, if he does beat me today, that would really be uncool. So I'm putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
We were going to do a giveaway trivia question and say, of Peter Lurie's first horse that he won, which of the 3 panelists was his jockey? It would have been 2. Wow. I don't think anybody would have picked George or I, so it was too easy.
Figure out who the trainer was.
Craig Stephen. Remember Craig? Wow. Craig now works for what's the trucking group that takes a lot of the horses around? I think
he was also an agent for Santiago Gonzalez when he was here.
Yes.
He became a draft agent for a while.
Craig right.
Yeah,
and I'm going
to
be
Hubbard.
Yeah, no, the other one.
Yeah.
Let's forget it.
My brain is not working this morning, so I have no idea.
By the way,
no trivia for Chappie today.
This just being announced, I'm going to be Iggy's agent for his triumphant return to the saddle, just so you know that. He didn't even know that. So,
and I'm going to be George's agent for his triumphant return. He's been working horses again in the morning.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
We got to get him in the sweat box for about 68 straight days, but we're getting there.
Okay.
He's going to be my agent for my triumphant return to stand-up comedy. I think he'll be my agent.
I'll do 10 minutes before I ride one again, probably.
let's do a few minutes for the next time. All right, let's get to the show today. It's going to benefit Winners Foundation, and hopefully our contestants will raise their $300 bankroll to over $1,000, so we can give Winners Foundation some extra money. They're going to have 3 bets, and it starts off with a $100 win bet. So let's start with you, Peter. You got $100 to win. Where are you going and why?
You will refer to me as Lord of the Dance from now on.
Excuse me, Lord of the Dance. Okay, we'll go to the Lord.
Thank you. A very difficult card today to try to get something going. So I'm just going to go with the real obvious. My first wager of the day is a $50 daily double in the first race. I'm sorry. I'm just going to chalk it up like a weasel. Squeak, squeak. The 3-horse Edgeway. I think Edgeway and Private Mission are both speed. I think Edgeway draws the outside. Iggy would like this. If you got speed horses, you'd rather be on the outside than be on the inside. And I think that horse will make a short work of the field. I'm going to use him in a double in the second race with, what do I got here? It's, as I can get my pages going. The 1-horse Too Late. Got some good speed for Doug O'Neill and Abel Cedillo. I think he's in a level again, coming off that really bad layoff off the January race, February 18th. He just did not get a clear trip. I think he gets a better race today. But I'm going to put Fort Bridger on top for Ryan Hansen. This guy is racing incredibly high percentage right now. He just took the Oaks at Turf Paradise. This horse has got speed, and it's got the little guy that we all love, Mr. Diego Herrera. And Herrera will get the victory in race number 2. So we're going to go chalk it up, folks. $50 double, 3 Edgeway with 1 Too Late and the 4 Fort Bridger.
All right, Chappie, we're starting with the daily double today, Chappie, and it's going to be 3 with the 1-4 for the Lord of the Dance. And hopefully we'll take the lead right off the bat, Tabby.
I didn't even think about that we just started with the double. I forgot. So I'm out of it. All right, Iggy.
Everyone listening. George said, let's go to your $100 win bet. That was the whole gimmick. It was nothing, and then he went into a double. That was it. Nobody lost anything.
He's the Lord of the Dance. He can do whatever he wants. He's the Lord.
What?
The Lord.
Who listens to George? Come on, guys.
No.
We love him, but I don't listen.
Right. No.
It's happening. They're right next to each other.
It's like if he was your producer.
Hold on 1 second here. Hold on.
He's got a phone call.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, Brad Pitt. Listen, I'm on the air right now. We can talk movies later. I have to get back on this thing. I will call you back, Brad Pitt. By the way, I loved your performance in the last movie.
Even when Brad Pitt calls, the Lord of the Dance hangs up when he's on our show.
He's on a show.
I mean, come on. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Call now.
Iggy, I guess we're going
with in a movie.
I guess we're going with the double first then, Iggy. We're going off script today. Where are you going with your double and why?
Right. This is here's where Pete and I start clashing. I'm gonna go into the second race. He into 2 horses, and I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to single All About the Money. I thought that horse is routed against maiden special weights and 40s that were tougher than the other ones. So I think this horse coming off of a 6-month break, the work seemed fine. I just thought he'd run against tougher. I watched that last replay on him, very game inside the last little bit. The rest of them seemed a little bit one pace to me. So I'm going to go the 3-horse in the second race to 2 horses. This is where I'm taking a shot. I mean, we can get into the bonus money for the Winners Foundation. I'm going to take two kind of wild shot horses for that double. One of them is Make Mine Wine. That horse won first time out. I don't think it was a fluke. It was legit. The gallop out was good. That horse, I would love to see that horse, move on to grass and do well. And Aria Beata, the 5-horse, was loaded late. That was routing on grass. So the grass is no question to me. They went fast early and the horse just got shuffled and finished running. I think this horse is going to be running down the lane. I don't know. It's tough when they're sprinting to come from that far back coming out of a route race, but that horse will be running late. So I'm going to end my double 3-horse in the second race to the 1 and 5 in the third.
All right, so race 2, we could have a little. We have a little separator there, Georgie.
Yeah.
Key race. Comes out to Iggy singling with the red hot Vladimir Serin, All About the Money. Georgie.
All right, we're back to the Lord of the Dance. Now you got 2 bets left. One of them is an exacta, and one of them is to win. I'm gonna just let you decide which one you want to say.
The Lord of the Dance will decree. See, what I did was I went sequential order. I went first, fourth, and fifth. That's why I did, and I wasn't listening to you. Okay. So I guess we're going, Iggy, if it's okay with you, $100 to win. Is that all right with you? You can tell us about you can tell us about the Hoffman horse, and we'll all say huzzah. Let's talk about race number 4, a mile optional 50. By the way, I did like that Hoffman horse, but I said, no, Iggy's going to pick that horse. I'm not going to do it. All right. So, fourth race.
Stand down, Peter.
What'd you say?
No.
What'd you say?
Stand down, I think. I don't know, something silly.
You're talking to me?
Surrendered
me?
the horse.
This show's completely gone off the rails already.
George, the adults are talking, so just chill. Okay. For the sake of the exercise, fourth race, Mile, starts off the late pick 5. Look, it's not like I'm on the air already. I'm going to go with the 4, With This Vow, for Ron Ellis. You were talking about hot hands. Ron Ellis is hitting at 38% at the current meet. This horse has got speed. I realize Stoic Luna also has speed on the rail, but as I said earlier, you got 2 horses with speed. I would rather be on the outside than be on the inside. This horse got caught last time out going 6.5. I think the Mile, which they've never done before, I think it might hit this horse square right between the eyes. I like this horse. If they clear, I think they're gone. If not, I'd like to see him sit right off the flank, make a move down the stretch. $100 to win on the 4, With This Vow. The ring is on.
All right. With This Vow, hopefully he will flank Stoic Luna and get the. I flung flank, so I don't know anything about that. But we're gonna go with Vow. With This Vow. Hey, Vow. Go ahead, Chappie.
You know, George, there are many degenerates we have, including ourselves on the show.
Sure.
I'm guessing Iggy was watching a race he had gambled on right there while Peter was talking. Is that what you were doing, Iggy? Were you watching?
Oh, I was checking that same horse because it was a horse that I had also picked. No, I just got my screen now.
There's many a time, including George and I being the hosts, when we'll be watching a race going off while the others are talking, and I thought I caught you in mid gamble.
I did leave somebody hanging yesterday from a group to watch an important race for it. I needed Pratt to get by, and Harbor Memories was digging, and they were saying something, and I just completely focused out. I'm like, sorry, I needed to see that.
Well, I thought I caught you there, but I didn't. So go ahead. What's your $100 to win? I think we know where you're going, but let us know.
Yeah, but before we go there, I agree with Pete. With This Vow is going to clear. I watched that tape. That horse comes out of quick races. She's going to be clear and going to be very tough. So I agree with Pete for whoever's watching and going along. That horse is a good bet. I ended up in race 6, $100 win bet. That's why Mr. Dave Hoffman's, the Hall of Fame Dave Hoffman's and the whole crew there. Wonderful people, wonderful barn. That horse had a trouble trip last time going down the hill, just really, really stuck in traffic. Nobody's fault, nowhere to go. Just a wall of horses in front of Miss Fia and really trying to bully your way through. This is a 6-year-old mare. She just seems ultra tough. They routed her that race. I put in X through a couple of them. The rest of the sprints are really top-notch efforts, and this horse did like the hill. 8-1 was a big price, and I thought, man, if we're going to take a shot here to make some of that extra bonus money for the Winners Foundation, I'm going to go $100 win bet on Miss Fia in race 6.
I like it. So all 4 of us do the same thing. We not only go to XBTV, but we also go and watch many, many replays, and you find some troubled trips, and that's where you got to make some money doing your own homework. And I'm going to jump off topic for 1 second, Georgie, because we've got a little time here, because I'd love Iggy's assessment on this, and Peter. With Pratt leaving and Umberto, but especially Pratt, does someone from the East Coast or somewhere else take the opportunity to come out here? Do you guys think somebody steps up here, or this to me, and it looks right for the opportunity is some name to come out here and dominate? Am I right or wrong? What are your thoughts on that, Iggy or Lori? Lord of the Lawn, you go, or Lord of the Dance, you go first.
Lord of the Lawn? Wow, somebody's been drinking. Okay. You know what? I understand why they're doing it, but if it was me and I was their agent, I would say no, because you're going to have to go against now the Ortiz brothers. You're going to have to go against about 7 or 8 other guys. I'm not saying, hey, you know what? Maybe they both just dominate. You got to go against Joel Rosario. I think Santa Anita is a gorgeous place, and it's a great fit for them. But I respect what they're doing, and I wish them the best. As far as an East Coast person showing up here, if I was an agent right now at the track, that's who I'd be calling. I would be calling somebody and say, look, here's a chance. It's no disrespect here. I think we've got a very tight jockey colony. Iggy, you've ridden with these guys for years. I think Tyler Bays, this is an opportunity for him and his agent, Jack Carava, who you are intimate with, the years that you worked for him. And of course, I had him as a trainer. This is a big opportunity for them to get going. Juan Hernandez has proven he's real deal. I love the kid Diego Herrera. I think he's really proving, what he's got. Abel Cedillo. I think there's a lot of opportunities for guys right now. But yeah, if I was taking a shot here, I would say, hey, get a jock and bring him out here and say, let's see what happens in the waters. I'd love to see James Graham come back out here. He looked like he had some chances, but he decided to go back down to Fairgrounds. I'd love to see him come back.
Right. Yeah, I mean, interesting thought by Pratt, because he's clearly the king out here, but I get where he's coming from. But what are your thoughts on the situation, Iggy? You've been in the room your whole life.
I have, and it's really hard to speak for other riders. It's a strange, you don't see that decision being made often from tracks where somebody's leading, unless you're going to take a step to another really major track, like maybe coming from a smaller, if you dominated in Washington, you might, want to come, but it's a odd move. I've never been in that position, so I don't know. I could see it being more challenging and him wanting something a little bit more, with both guys, both super talented guys. And I don't know if Pratt does that for a year, if he doesn't come back and can get the same exact spot back here. I don't know. I believe that a couple of the guys here are moving up. JJ Hernandez, I could already see the move from like Bob Baffert. He's taking the Pratt horses and they're all going to JJ. So I got to feel that flow is going to help him a ton. I mean, everybody, that gets a part there. I don't know anything. I'm just kind of going by what I'm seeing. I wouldn't be surprised. They're small enough fields, but there's enough juice with 2 major people leaving where somebody will show up and give it a go. There's no doubt.
It sort of seems that way, doesn't it, George? I mean, somebody could come in here and just dominate like Pratt was, or close to it at least, I would think.
I kind of saw it with Joel Rosario. Joel Rosario was dominating here. And when he left, we were like, what? You're dominating here. But look, it really turned out good for him. He's riding some big, big horses. And, Pratt's already in the barns like Chad Brown, that is, has guaranteed him some horses that are going to be spectacular. So I think it's a good move for him. And I think it's right for somebody, when Rosario left, Pratt stepped up. So now that Pratt leaves, we're going to have somebody step up. And now stepping up to the plate is the Lord of the Dance. And we got left an exacta, but hey, Lord, if you want to bet a try, the pick 6, it really doesn't matter. It's all up to you. Do the exacta if you want, or go nuts.
How about a super high five?
Super high five, whatever.
My next race is at Fauner Park, and we're going to.
Iggy, get your Fauner Park shoot out.
And Peter has done commentary at Fauner Park. I don't think there's a park in the America that I haven't seen Peter in the paddock interviewing somebody. Like, what the hell is he doing there?
We took a vacation, me and a buddy, to go see a friend of mine in Nebraska. And he was in Norfolk. Along the way is a track called Columbus. I don't know if you ever raced there, Iggy. It's the home of Jack. It's the home, the Columbus Town races. It's the home of where Jack Van Berg was born. It's a population of about 5,000. And I was on the old HRTV. And that day when I was leaving for vacation, I forgot who I was on with. And they said, so what are you going to do? I said, and I looked right at the camera and they said, well, I'm going to go see my friend in Norfolk, but on the way, I'll be going to the Columbus Town races. Come on out. And I thought, it's a joke. We come up, we get out of the park, and I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And I said, this is going to be great. Nobody knows us. We can just have fun. This guy comes rolling out, and says, "Mr. Lurie, we just want to let you know it's an honor to have you here. I'm the GM here. We got flooded with calls," and I'm thinking, "You've got to be kidding me." And he said, he goes, "Can you do the early daily double for us on our television screen?" And I just went, "Sure." I hadn't even seen the card, and the worst thing that can happen is I had both races. So
Wow.
it was quite silly, quite silly. But
I've got a trivia question then for you, real quick. If either of you guys, any of you guys, ever heard of Lebanon Raceway?
of course,
Okay,
No.
it's a very, very. I don't even know if it's still around, but not that I had a problem. But when I used to go to school at the University of Dayton, it was a very small harness track, very close to Dayton, and about once every 2 weeks I'd venture there, and I was like, 20 years old, and with me involved with the other 27 people, the median age was like 83 and a half. But I would venture over and bet the trotters at Lebanon Raceway by myself.
I've heard of that. Oh my!
Very
Iggy,
proud
what's
of
the
that.
real quick, Iggy, what's the smallest track you ever raced at?
Oh, raced? Probably.
Actually got in the saddle.
I've been to other bush tracks. I just never rode there, but raced. I believe maybe like Saskatchewan Downs in Saskatoon.
Okay.
That was. I went over there for a stake race. It was like 25,000 Canadian or something.
It was the Bigfoot handicap. It was the Bigfoot.
That's along the lines of like Marquise Downs and Assiniboia up there.
Yeah,
Western
right
Canada.
around there. Yeah. That
Okay.
that's canon here. In the States. Ooh. They're all good.
Rito?
Yeah, no other bushes. Yeah, that was pretty. I went to a track in Alberta called Trout Springs, and they had a trout that they grew in the infield. That was it. It was a trout place, and there was like a
Iggy
Fishing for winners.
Iggy hit the double. He actually won a race, and he caught a 3-pound trout in the same afternoon.
Great day.
I was
That
sitting
was
there
a late double.
on the sidelines during that time. I watched. That was gnarly. Even for me, I'm like, whoa, these guys. The guy that was the leading rider there, he had like a real raccoon tail that came out of the back of his helmet. And that's how he
Oh my
raced,
gosh.
with a raccoon tail out of the back.
I saw
No, this
I
was
was-
legit, man. This
His name was
That's
Dan
crazy.
Boone.
I was at Rito once. It was back in the 90s, and I was there, and it was during spring training. A buddy of mine was with the Brewers, so it was AAA over there in Tucson, and I said, I'm going to go to the track, and I'd never been there. Back in the 90s, it was like an airplane hangar that they'd cut in half, and that was the grandstand. And they used to make the programs out of a Ditto machine. Remember that when you were a kid?
Oh,
They
yeah.
turn that crank thing. That
Yeah.
was it. You smell, go, interesting. I'm looking, and I look at the program, and I said to somebody, I go, George Munsell? I go, that can't be the same George Munsell from like the 60s and all that. And they said, oh, yeah, Popeye? Oh, absolutely. He was like in his mid 70s. He got on a horse. The reason why I call him Popeye is he had skin like kind of like Warren Studi that went over one of his eyes, so it didn't look like he had an eye. He rode this horse 2-mile marathon and he won. It was crazy.
We got to get him on Ung Oho, that horse who just won.
By the way,
George
of our
Munsell.
many viewers, Benny South Street's watching, and he just texted me, "What the F is going on here?" Because we've gone off the rails with this
Right.
show.
Let's forget about Beirut Downs for a second. Forget about Beirut Downs. Let's go to your exacta play. Exacta,
I
Lord of the
forgot what
Dance.
pick we had left. It's the
Exacta.
At Winnemucca, the home of mule racing. Remember the Duttons? They used to do that. Winnemucca.
Black
right on the
Ruby and
Nevada
Taz.
border.
As Mule Days, Jackson Hole.
Yes.
Remember that? Oh, okay. There's a
Black
guy right
Ruby.
now is going, you're not helping. You're not helping.
Yes.
Okay. 8th and final. 6 furlongs on the turf on the flat. I'm going to do a $50 exacta box. And if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is a play if you ever watch the inner track, and maybe you don't. I prefer this when I'm dealing with maidens. This is the 5-horse scenic masterpiece for Jonathan Wong and the Tommytown. They paid a good amount of money for this horse in Keeneland, $240,000. I love this angle. Well meant by the public in the debut on February 20th. Ran what I thought was kind of an even race. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. He was off slow. At the break, he pulled. He had everything go wrong for him. Now turning around 3 weeks later, comes back in here. Ricardo Gonzalez, that's another guy who might benefit from the two riders leaving. He is going to be aboard. This horse should be sitting right off the early speed. I think makes a run at the top of the lane and gets the win. However, I also thought the 7, Vivando for John Sadler and Horonis Racing. Horonis Racing, my God, two of the nicest people, Costa and Stephanie, you are ever going to meet. If there is a special place in heaven, I think they both have a ringside seat.
Correct.
This horse should be also sitting right off the par. I think Scenic Masterpiece, Vivando, those are the two that get the run off the early pace setters. I don't know which one's going to win. That's why I'm boxing it. The 5, 6 Scenic Masterpiece and the 7 Vivando.
5-7 exacta box for Peter. Scenic Masterpiece before was ridden by Ricky Gonzalez. Now it's Ricardo Gonzalez taking over.
Different guy. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, he's a lot more Hispanic. All
right.
Abby.
Sure.
Bigger.
Where you going?
Stronger.
You're exacting why there, Igster.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
I forgot where we're at. I'm having such a good time.
He's still betting on.
I agreed with. This is the race that I agreed with Pete. This is the fourth race with this with this Val, the Ron Ellis horse, and I'm gonna do the exacta box with Smooth Like Butter. Got pinched at the start last time and really shuffled back and made a great move inside, almost looked like a winning move, and outside horse already had some momentum. I hope it wasn't too hard of an effort. Sometimes when they get left like that and they catch up, it's it's a little draining on them. So I'm hoping that Smooth Like Butter bounces back well from that effort. So I'm going to put her in the exacta box with the horse that I think is going to be on the lead. 4-5, $50 exacta box in the 4th.
4-5 exacta box. All right, Georgie, where does that leave us for the tiebreaker race?
Race number 7 for the tiebreaker. So if you guys want to take a quick look at race number 7, in the meantime, I want to remind you guys that with daylight savings times, post time starting Friday here at Santa Anita will now be 1 p.m. So adjust your, obviously you adjusted your clocks last night, but just post time here at Santa Anita for 1 o'clock. And I think with that, Golden Gates is changing it to 1:15. So we'll be alternating there. And we do have tickets that are on sale right now for the Run Happy Santa Anita Derby. So go to santanita.com and pick up your tickets for the Run Happy Santa Anita Derby. We are ready for the Wheel of Doom. Chappie, let's see who picks first in race number 7.
And that also means that our show will be airing at 11 from now on, correct?
Right.
Starting next, is it Saturday?
Friday. Starting Friday.
Oh, so from now 11 to 11:30.
Yes.
All right. Here, let's go the wheel. Iggy.
Oh, yeah.
Choose first. This is the tiebreaker with you two terrific handicappers, handicapping all around the world at Bush Tracks. I don't think there's any way we're going to need this tiebreaker, but just in case, George, just in case.
Just in case.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do it anyways.
It could come down to this. I wasn't that secure on anything, man.
I'm with it, man.
Such confidence.
Yes.
Yeah, boy. Great to have you get your confident players on. Everybody who's listening, run to the windows or run away.
Both of us a big fat over coming into this.
Arthur Spooner, man. Funny. If anything, go to funny.
Funny.
All right, so the 5-horse Arthur Spooner for Iggy.
Peter, I want to play this.
The Lord of the Manor.
I want to play this huge horse, Sawaz D, but I'm going to chicken out at the last moment. 6-horse Smiling Goodbye has got the speed, well meant by the general public. You know my take on the maidens. Well meant by the general public back in January. The works are okay. I like that 1:03 back on February 27th for Dean Pedersen, one of my favorite horsemen, looking for his first winner of the meet. I'll say Smiling Goodbye, the 6, 4-1 with Smiling Abel Cedillo aboard.
Georgie and I also big fans of Dean Pedersen. I know Iggy is too. Very, very,
He can't
very
stand you.
underrated. What's that?
I said he can't stand you.
No, he hates me, but I love him. I don't, doesn't.
Right now he's going, what? He loves you. He loves
He's like, I don't even know who that guy is, but we like to bet on his horses. Go ahead, George.
There you go.
All right. Well, it's been a fun show, to say the least. We've covered every track around the country, Lebanon, Beirut, you name it. We took care of it, and it was a fun show. Hopefully our handicappers will get some winners. Peter, we'll see you later on here today. Always fun to see Peter, and comes in with great insight to the races here at Santa Anita. And Iggy, a great ambassador for the sport. Great to have you on the show as well.
Thanks, guys. The funniest thing is, we just did a half-hour show. I learned nothing about horse racing. The only thing I learned is Peter's dog is okay, and Iggy caught a trout in Saskatchewan 13 years ago.
Many
Remember
more years
Saskatoon.
ago than that. 30 years ago.
30 years ago. All right,
The
gentlemen.
comedy show
Saskatoon,
continued from last night. The comedy show continued and spilled over into this morning.
I see
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yikes.
That's right. Arthur Spooner, baby.
Iggy, get back to your little one. Peter, get to work, would you?
Get to work.
I'm going to get to work.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Thank you.